video. I am super excited to be making my first video. For this YouTube vlog, I want to talk about different wedding tips. I've actually been engaged since April of 2017 and it is now May of 2018, so I feel like I have a lot of insight to give to new brides and to brides that have been engaged for quite some time now. So I'll be vlogging things like my bridal shower that's next weekend. I'll be doing some things like talking about obviously wedding tips, and I'll be talking about things that aren't bridal too. Anyway, let's get started. So there's 10 different wedding tips that I've learned so far that I feel like new brides and older brides would be able to really appreciate. So first, I would say when you first get engaged, or if you've been engaged for like a couple months, definitely start a wedding email. Looking back now, a wedding email would have been really helpful. Currently, I just have my own regular email that, you know, all kinds of stuff comes to. Having an email that's not like all wedding related, it's really hard to look back like, you know, from a year ago and find old contracts. Definitely get some kind of assistance with planning. I've been using the Knot, and that's really helped me a lot, just because I don't really know timelines and things, because I've obviously never been married before. Definitely get some kind of assistance to help you with timelines and things. The Knot app actually tells you like when you should start looking at invite ideas, when you should book your venue, things like that. It also tells you like when you should buy gifts for your bridesmaids, for your groomsmen, when it gets closer to the wedding date. Number 3, this kind of goes along with getting a timeline of when to do things, but number 3 is block rooms in advance for hotels. I thankfully have been following the Knot app and doing things kind of the way that the app says I should, but if I hadn't been following along the app and just thinking of my own like thoughts of when I should book something, I would have not been able to have any hotels in the area where I'm getting married. All of the 3 hotels that I booked, all 3 are completely booked other than our room blocks. Number 4, you want to sit down in your wedding dress at your fitting. This is something I have not done yet. I still have one more fitting, but you definitely want to sit down in your wedding dress because they obviously fit it to your body, but when you're standing, the dress is going to feel a little bit different on your body when you're sitting. So that's something I'm going to do at my next fitting. But number 5, look for free items before purchasing things. I looked on Pinterest for a lot of different things. I look at Oriental Trading, Hobby Lobby, Marshalls, you know, all kinds of different places, but definitely look online for free items before you go and purchase things. A lot of the stuff that you can purchase on Etsy, you can find something pretty similar just for free. And you know, weddings are expensive, and so you definitely want to try to look through that avenue before you purchase something. Number 6, you want to make enough room to write names next to food on RSVP cards. One thing I didn't really think about was that I'm inviting multiple people, and they are obviously different people, so they might want to eat different things. So on my RSVP cards, I made 2 lines for 2 different options that people could choose for what they want to eat. I did not make a big enough line for people to write their names. So when I started getting RSVPs in, people were putting like, one person wants chicken and one person wants beef. We both accept, and they put their names at the top. Obviously, I didn't know who wanted what, so I had to look for their number and then, you know, contact them. And so it's just taking a little bit longer to like get stuff planned out. So make sure that you put enough room for people to put their names next to what they want to eat. Okay, so number 7 is the easy one. Get a good photographer. Just make sure that you're comfortable with the photographer that you have. Meet them before you sign a contract and just like get a good vibe and see like if you guys are, you know, gonna be comfortable when you're doing all these like really, I don't know, different types of poses. So make sure you get someone you're comfortable with for the pictures. Number 8, you want to listen to the advice from people that they'll, inevitably give you, because a lot of people have been married and a lot of people have done things that they wish they didn't do at their wedding, or they wish they did do at their wedding. So you'll get a lot of advice, but just make sure you do what's best for you. Everyone's wedding is a little bit different. And so, some people who give you advice, it might just not be something that you want to do at your wedding. Just make sure that you do what you feel is best and don't feel pressured to do something that like someone else wants you to do just because they did their wedding and they think it's like the best idea. Number 9. Okay, so this is like a super odd like wedding tip, but I feel like it is so needed. Postage. So before you send your wedding invitations or like engagement party invitations, bachelorette party invitations, or before anyone sends anything, you want to make sure that your invitations do not weigh too much and they are not too wide. Yes, I said wide. So I knew that when you get like, you know, go to the post office, you have to make sure that it weighs like a certain weight. Otherwise, you might have to get like a little bit more postage. I already knew that. That was something like I was definitely aware of. I was not aware. I was not aware that you have to make sure that your invitations aren't too wide. The invitation that I have is like a square, and so I put it in the mail, and then I got sent back this massive stack of like invitations. I sent out, I think it was 175 invitations or something like that. I only got back like 106 invitations. I go to the post office and I asked the lady, I was like, hey, these invitations got sent back to me. What was the issue? I made sure that it wasn't too heavy, and she said, well, it's too wide. So I actually needed 2 stamps and not 1. I asked, you know, where are the rest of the invitations? Am I gonna get them? Are the other people gonna get them? She said, well, they might have just went on. So a couple days later, my fiance was like, yeah, the post office is charging people to get their invitations. Oh my gosh, yes, charging people. So anyway, some of the invitations, they went on, some of them didn't go on. Some of them came back to us like, you know, a week later or whatever. We had to put more stamps on it, and some people had to pay when the postal guy got there. Some people didn't have to pay. So anyway, just make sure you do that. Number 10. This is the last thing, but I definitely think it's like super important. Do what you can do today instead of waiting until tomorrow. As the wedding gets closer, things will kind of like snowball, and there'll be like 50 million things that you have to do. Make sure you can do what you can do today, do as much as you can do today, and then as the day gets closer, you'll have a lot less to do and you'll be a lot less stressed. So those are my 10 things that I have for advice for people. If you can think of any other questions that you might have, comment below. I really enjoyed making this video, so I hope you guys enjoy it too. Be sure to subscribe and come back and watch my next video. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye!